The Audacious Coach is already on the line to talk to us on this subject. Good morning, Elizabeth, Audacious Coach. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. I am wonderful this morning. And yes, we are demystifying. We are gaining clarity this morning.
Oh, yes, that's a beautiful one, because already we're looking for dictionaries, all kinds of dictionaries to get the meaning of the word. But since you are here, we are ready. Please greet the listener and get into it.
Good morning, our audacious listeners. So this morning we are going to gain clarity on some of the fog life experiences that we go through. And the goal for us this morning is to get to a place where we are able to take actionable steps and move forward, especially when we feel stuck. Yesterday morning, though, we experienced quite an intense fog mist. And as I was taking my morning walk, I was just incredibly amazed at how beautiful actually fog is. Fog is actually water, tiny droplets of water,
Yes.
but it's put in a different state or form. We know water as liquid, ice, snow even. But there was one thing that actually really stood out for me. As I was standing, if I looked a few meters ahead, I couldn't see other objects, cars, buildings, or people. They were completely covered up.
Yes.
But then where I was, I could see my fingers, my hands, I could see the floor, I could even see the person next to me.
Right.
And then it came to my attention that possibly there's someone else who is a few meters away who can't see where I'm standing.
Right.
But where they are, it's completely clear. And I thought about, isn't life sometimes like that? We go through life experiencing things in our perspective, through our emotions, through our lenses. It could be the fog of grief. You could be feeling an intense amount of pain, an intense amount of weight on you, and you feel like nobody can see me, just like in the fog metaphor.
Yes.
Or someone else could be in the same experience as that, and you feel like you just don't see where they are, and therefore you read them as either they're cold or they're distant. And
Right.
as we are experiencing those types of emotions of confusion, brain fog, mental fog, there's something that happens in our relationships where there's miscommunications, there's conflict, and there's arguments.
Yes.
And when we are going through these experiences of confusion, conflict, the one thing that everyone wants is see me, see where I'm standing, see how clearly the experience and the situation that I'm in, but they can't, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want us to look at, even when you're going through the unexpected life challenges, whether it could be unemployment, unplanned pregnancy, or even relocating to a new place, when you are going through those emotions, there are practical tools that I want us to look at that will help you to be able to signal for help. First, I would like you to acknowledge the visibility of the issue. Call it what it is, and tell the family members and your friends, I am in a fog right now. I'm unemployed. I've just found out I'm pregnant. I need to move to a new place. I don't know what to do. I can't see a few meters ahead. I don't know my emotions. My emotions are spiraling out of control. It's up and down. It feels like a roller coaster ride. I don't know what to do. Can you help me, or can you give me space if you need space? We all process situations differently. Some people would like to withdraw, some people would like to create isolation, And then one of the key things that you can do is flash your hazard lights. You don't have to try and be strong. I find that people who are strong all the time, they actually teach people around them that they don't need anyone.
Yes.
And even on the days where you need someone to be there for you, to support you, to carry you, they don't even know how to be there for you because, one, you don't know how to open up and let them be there for you, or they don't know that you need help because they've assumed that as you've always been okay, as you've always been the strong friend, as you've always been the one that's giving advice, why should there be anything wrong with you? You seem like you've got it all together, right?
Yes.
So it's important to flash your hazard lights so that you don't have to navigate through the nights. Life has different seasons. You've got days, you've got nights. You don't have to navigate through the darkness all by yourself. And always remember, asking for help is not weakness. It is just giving others permission to slow down and approach you with care. Another thing that we can do to assist us is to move at a slower pace. Things like grief, burnout, heartbreak, or even moving to a new location. It takes processes where you need to process it mentally, process it emotionally, and it's important for us not to rush ourselves to reach a state of perfectionism or a state of I'm okay, I've got it all under control, I've got it all together. I think one of the things that is such a disadvantage for us with social media is because we see so many highlight reels of people's experiences that we literally forget that those people actually have downtime days as well. And then we forget that real life is so practical. It doesn't run only on highlight reels. In fact, oftentimes we celebrate, once in a long time, but on an ordinary day, on an ordinary time, the more 90% of the time is literally the mundane repetition of small tasks, the mundane repetition of working through stuff, processing through stuff, pushing through stuff. It almost feels like being in a cave and trying to fill out on the different sides of the walls and be like, if I try this, does it work? Do I need a different tool? Do I need to do so? A majority of life is centered around working through things out and figuring things out. And then the another thing that is practical that we can put into place is to trust the person on the outside. Oftentimes we have blind spotted and those blind spots are fueled by self-criticism, where we either criticize ourselves because now you're in this fog of a divorce, now you're in this fog of this heartbreak, or how did I get here? I should have known better. I could have done better. I give other people better advice and I'm not even able to follow my own advice, right? We can be so hard on ourselves. But when we trust those who are around us, it gives us such a good feedback, because first of all, their perspective is more objective because they can see clearly. They're not clouded by their emotions of the situation.
Yes.
And then we just allow their kind words to guide our steps and to build us, especially when life's, different circumstances is breaking us down. And the last thing that I want us to look at is to wait for the sun to rise. And yes, just like every beautiful morning, with each morning, the Lord's mercies are new every morning. We know there's nighttime and there's day. And sometimes it feels like your night season is 6 months. Sometimes it feels like your night season is 6 years. Yeah. But we know that the sun will rise again. And that the fog itself, whether it is a state of depression, it is a state of confusion, or whether it is just a state of your heart being heavy because you deeply loved someone and they let you down, it is just a temporary emotional atmosphere of where you currently are. It is not a permanent identity of who you are. So it is important to get back into that space of understanding that, sometimes I need to sit with it, marinate in it, feel it, allow it to do the work that it needs to do. Who knows, maybe in that heartbreak it is producing character. Who knows, maybe in that disappointment it is producing kindness. Who knows, maybe it is producing the type of capacity that I can have to be able to put myself in another person's shoes who's grieving, and now I'm able to offer them compassion and empathy because I've been through the same. We don't know what it's teaching you, but we know that the sun does rise. And to our listener this morning, I want you to hang tight, hang in there if you are experiencing any kind of fog. And remember, the sun will rise. And when it rises, you will not only be able to be a source of hope and inspiration for others, but you'll also be able to, live life from a more meaningful and purposeful experience.
Wow. What a beautiful message this morning. And as you have given us, the meaning of demystifying, that is one thing we were confused about. Now we know what you were talking about. And what a beautiful way, actually, to bring it down and break it down for us. So for anyone who wants to work with you, where can they get a hold of you?
It's Elizabeth Ramadikela on all social media platforms except X, and it's elizabethramadikela.org. And please, our listener, if you are stuck, drop me a DM and say fog, and we can take the conversation from there.
Sure, beautiful. Thank you so much for all that information that you gave us. I like how you used the myth, because yesterday I was literally thinking as I was coming to studio, I'm like, I can't see. What if someone is turning and I want to go straight? So now I actually put what you said and into what was happening, and I'm like, life is really, really interesting, because all you can see is what's in front front of you, and we struggle to see what's, further away from us. So it's all the power of the mind, I guess.
That is so beautiful. And thank you so much, Elizabeth. I believe we'll see you again next week, same time, same place.
That is an audacious yes from me, ma'am.
Oh,
Definitely looking forward
yes.
to it.
Oh, thank you so much. And that was Elizabeth Ramadikela this morning, talking all things demystifying the fog in our relationships. And I believe it's not only the relationships, romantic relationships, it's